This episode contains discussions of graphic violence, trauma, and themes of revenge that may be distressing to some listeners. We'll be discussing intense moments of loss, mental strain, and the emotional toll of a life devoted to revenge. Listener discretion is advised. Please take care of your mental health and emotional well-being. If today's topic hits too close, it is okay to step away. We'll be here when you're ready. In a world ruled by swords, blood, and silence, only one truth matters. The number one headband controls everything. It's more than a symbol. It's power, status, godhood, and there's only one way to claim it. Kill the one who wears it. For Afro Samurai, vengeance isn't a choice. It's destiny. Written in the blood the moment his father's head hit the ground. He doesn't speak much. He doesn't have to. His blade does the talking, and what it says is simple. I remember everything. Today on Revenge and Madness, we journey into the brutal, stylized world of Afro Samurai, a tale of legacy, loss, and a man who carries grief like a blade at his side. Welcome back to Revenge and Madness, the podcast where we unravel the line between justice and vengeance, one character at a time. Today's subject is a man forged in trauma, raised in blood, and haunted by a single memory, Afro Samurai. This is not just a revenge story, it's the revenge story. A futuristic feudal world where cybernetics meets samurai honor, and the past never dies. Afro's journey is soaked in silence, stained with violence, and driven by the echo of a single moment, watching his father die at the hands of justice. From that moment, Afro became more than a boy, more than a warrior. He became a storm. Afro's father wasn't just a man. He was the number one, a figure of quiet power, respected and feared in equal measure. But in a world where strength invites challenge, that title comes with a target. And Justice, the man who would take everything from Afro, answered the call. Justice was no ordinary opponent. He was a towering presence, cowboy swagger, cold eyes, pistols always within reach, and a warped sense of philosophy. He believed in power. He believed in taking. And in front of a gathering of onlookers, and in front of Afro, he did exactly that. Justice struck down Afro's father, decapitated him, claimed the number one headband, and just like that, Afro's childhood was over. He didn't cry. He didn't scream. He just watched, silent, frozen in that moment. That silence would become a defining part of who he was. A child without a voice, a soul marked by a singular purpose. That moment didn't just end his innocence, it shattered it. Afro's world collapsed into a tunnel of vengeance. No laughter, no family, no warmth, only the weight of that memory, and the fire lit inside him. From that day forward, Afro trained, obsessively, mercilessly. Swordplay became his language. Discipline, his religion. He didn't just want to survive. He wanted to become the instrument of justice's downfall. But with every swing of the blade, Afro lost a little more of himself. The boy who watched his father die faded into myth, and what remained was a weapon, shaped by pain, fueled by obsession. Afro doesn't speak much, but his silence speaks volumes. Every step he takes is deliberate. Every swing of his blade is precise. He's not just fighting enemies. He's fighting memory, ghosts, and the pressure of a world that demands blood. He walks like a man carrying the weight of generations. His every move is calculated, honed through years of isolation, suffering, and practice. Afro doesn't waste energy, not in words, not in action. He is efficient, lethal, and disturbingly calm. The code he follows isn't one of honor or justice. It's vengeance. A code he carved himself, built not on tradition, but on trauma. His silence isn't stoic. It's suffocating. A refusal to let the world inside. And in following that code, Afro left pieces of his soul. To become number 2, he had to fight and kill. Friends, strangers, anyone who stood between him and the number 1. Even those who never wanted to fight. Those who begged. Those who weren't ready. Because the headbands don't just grant power. They curse you. They mark you. Once you wear one, you become a symbol. A stepping stone. A target. And Afro, he didn't just accept that system. He mastered it. He didn't just climb the ranks. He helped keep the cycle alive. With every kill, he became less of a man and more of a myth. A figure others whispered about, feared, chased, and sometimes pitied. Afro became both a warrior and a weapon, and in doing so, he lost the difference between the two. Afro walks alone, but he's never truly alone. Not with the weight he carries, not with the voices that echo in his mind. His journey is littered with the dead, friends, foes, bystanders, people who got too close, people he had to cut down, and people he couldn't save. His silence is deceptive. It's not peace, it's pressure. The kind that builds, silently, until it erupts in blood. Afro may never speak of his pain, but it moves with him. You see it in the way he lowers his gaze when a memory hits, in the way he pauses before a fight, as if wondering, is this one gonna haunt me too? And then there's Ninja. Ninja is loud, crude, unfiltered. He's everything Afro isn't, and everything that he's trying to suppress. Part jester, part commentator, part emotional release. Ninja is more than a sidekick. He's a manifestation of Afro's fractured psyche. Some call him comic relief, but beneath the jokes and the chatter lies something darker. Ninja is Afro's guilt, his fear, his loneliness. He exists because Afro needs him to. Because without that voice, maybe Afro would lose what little of himself he has left. Through Ninja, we hear the pain that Afro refuses to speak. We see the emotional scars that don't bleed. And in those moments, we're reminded, Afro isn't just a killer. He's a grieving son, a lost boy, a man who's slowly becoming the thing that he swore to destroy. These ghosts don't fade. They follow. They whisper. They laugh. And in Afro's world, the silence between those whispers can be even louder. Justice. The name itself is a lie. He's the man who set everything into motion. The one who murdered Afro's father and changed the trajectory of his life with a single swing. But Justice isn't a noble challenger. He's a manipulator. A tyrant cloaked in pseudo-philosophy. He believes the world is meant for the strong, and the rest are just stepping stones on the path to power. He didn't kill for honor. He killed because he could, and in doing so, he became the very monster Afro swore to destroy. But here's the twist. Afro and Justice aren't that different anymore. By the time Afro reaches Justice again, the line between hero and villain is gone. Afro has spent so many years chasing this one goal, this one man, and that everything else has fallen away. Identity, morality, and even purpose. What happens when your life has only one destination and you finally arrive? The final confrontation isn't just about revenge. It's about what Afro has become. Justice doesn't just fight with weapons. He fights with words. He wants Afro to see the cycle. He wants Afro to understand that vengeance is a trap. that the headband didn't make Afro powerful. It made him predictable. And he's not wrong. Afro killed justice, and for a brief moment, the journey ends. But there's no triumph, no catharsis, no redemption, just a corpse at his feet and the number one headband in his hands. A symbol of victory and a sentence of isolation, because now he is the target. He is the throne others will bleed to claim. The very thing he hated, he has become. So was it justice that drove Afro, or obsession? And did he ever have a choice? Afro Samurai is a legend, but not the kind sung about in songs or etched into stained glass. His story isn't one of glory, it's one of caution. He set out to avenge his father, to right a wrong, and in doing so, he walked through fire, blood, and silence. But when the blade stopped moving, when justice was dead, what was left? A man, a myth, or just another piece in the system he once swore to destroy. The truth is, Afro didn't escape the cycle. He became the cycle. The boy who wanted to end a legacy of violence inherited it instead. He wears the number one headband, not as a crown, but as a curse, and as he walks forward, not towards freedom, but towards more challengers, more ghosts, and more silence. His name carries the weight, yes, fear, respect, but also sorrow, because Afro's story doesn't end with peace, it ends with a question. Can you truly have justice if you lose everything in the pursuit of it? Afro's legacy isn't just in the bodies he left behind. It's in the silence between each swing of his blade. It's in the quiet moments when he's alone, carrying the burden of every decision, every death, and every sacrifice. He is the warning that vengeance, no matter how justified, always takes more than it gives, and that when you spend your whole life chasing one goal, you may not recognize yourself when you catch it. Thank you for walking this path with us. Now I leave you with one question. When vengeance becomes your only reason to live, what happens when you finally have it?